So, do you guys come here often?
Nice ass. What the fuck?
No, no thanks. I'm good. You can stay away from my ass.
Oh, come on there,
No,
mate.
no,
I'm
don't touch
leaving
me
this in the
there.
recording,
This,
by the way.
okay. This is my no-no square.
That could be the intro, Stray Days comes across the screen, fades in, all you hear is nice ass. What the fuck?
Yeah, that is what I'm leaving in. That is gonna be the
Oh,
fucking
shit.
intro.
Ha ha,
Oh
you have
no.
become a title screen.
So me first or me last?
This is the part where she kills
You
us.
first, Phaedra. Please give us the recap from last session.
Oh fuck no. um so once upon a time we rested from our previous endeavors in the death house. In a little room that we found. Phaedra and Darian yelled at each other a little. Marlowe opened up about his insecurities, and back down we go into the basement of the death house. Um, we did a little exploring down there. There were a bunch of seemingly spell ingredients posted up all around the walls. We managed to find a secret entrance that led us into a area with a pool of water and a stand in the center of the room. Marlowe stood on the stand, and ghostly voices begun to chant that a sacrifice is demanded. Um, to which Marlowe stepped off of the stand, and they got mad, and they sent a shambling mound after us, which we fought valiantly and killed it, and everything is fine now.
Oh, if only everything was fine now and you don't have two unfortunately very dead party members.
It could be in our dreams.
It could be in our dreams.
We just had a really bad nightmare, guys.
You had the worst nightmare, and the only problem for you is this nightmare isn't over yet. As we come back to session, Phaedra and Darian, you standing at the stairs and partially in the water as this shambling mound has backed off, seemingly commanded to by placated spirits that were, a little happy that Joram took the swift exit. What do you all do as the quiet starts to fill the house?
I'm gonna run to try to find my brother.
You run upstairs, that first little set of stairs, and as you round the corner, you see him on the ground. Unfortunately, in not the best state, as the shambling mound did hit him square in the chest, breaking a few ribs.
I'm gonna just try to see if I can get any signs of life out of him. Come on, please, 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 you can't leave me.
You place your hands on him, you check his pulse, you check for breath, you open his eyes, and there's just nothing. You know with certainty that he is gone.
Darian, while this is happening, is gonna walk over to Jorm's body, and sort of just grab it and pick him up and throw him over his shoulder as he starts to walk up the stairs with him.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Darren, as you go up the stairs and come around the corner, you see Phaedra kneeling over Marlowe, attempting to find some sign of life on this corpse.
I walk a little bit further and put Joram down on the floor for a minute and walk back over to Phaedra. Come on, we need to get moving.
No, you. can't leave him. No, no, not like this.
He's dead, Phaedra. Can't save him. We don't have anything to bring him back. He's gone. We can take him out of this place, but nothing that you can do is going to bring him back.
I know that nothing I can do. Gods. I'm gonna try to loop his arm around my shoulder, and I'm gonna try to pull him up with me.
Easy enough. You loop your arm beneath your brother's, and pull him up onto your shoulder, and I'm assuming you two start heading back upstairs?
With dead companions in tow. I'll lead in front so that way she doesn't get fucking decked by a suit of armor.
You make your way upstairs, reaching the top floor completely unhindered. The mist is starting to recede and pull away.
Looks like you can finally get out of this fucking place. No, head towards the front door and sort of push open the portcullis as I have Joram over my back.
Alrighty.
Come on. Head outside and go over towards the side of the house as best I can and sort of place them down.
Yeah, I'll give you guys visual on the village of Barovia. You guys head outside and place the bodies down. You notice that there's no more fog in the village. It's all pulled away, leaving only damp, empty streets and abandoned buildings.
This isn't how this was supposed to go.
Now that was obvious. Don't think any house is supposed to have this much fucked up shit in it, but it is what it is. What matters now is surviving. Darian sort of starts to pat over Joram and grab anything important that is on Joram's corpse currently and take it off of him.
Alrighty, I will start doing the work of moving over stuff.
To start going through his belongings and just sort of laying them out. If they cannot save their own lives, then we can hopefully save ours. So,
Are you looking to take everything off the body or just things that, might be useful?
anything that might be useful. I'm not going to take his clothes and, any sort of like wands. I don't need that.
Got
But,
it. So,
anything that's
yeah.
valuable, anything important.
So, like spell book, oil,
Yeah.
tinderbox, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I could do stuff with spellbooks. Sort of as I'm going through it and lay Dorm back down, I'm going to look over at her and then look down at Marlowe. All we can do is make sure that we live. And we need everything if we're going to do that.
She just kind of like gives him a glare, and then she'll sink down to her knees at Marlowe's level and start like smoothing his coat over and then trying to see like what he has on him.
Alrighty, same thing. Are you taking just, like weapons and things that are gonna help you in leaving behind clothes and like miscellaneous stuff?
Yeah, Mitch, would Marlowe have kept any like personal items when we were kids and stuff?
As you're digging through his stuff, you do notice that he does have a couple of the small trinkets you made for him when we were younger. That one little wooden ring that he always wears on his left pinky finger is still there. Got little speckles of blood on it. As you are going through his stuff, though, you find a soft, nice little bottle of perfume, and wrapped around it seems to be a letter.
I'm gonna take that. Is that addressed to anyone?
You can see that the wax is stamped with our family seal. Seems to be addressed back home.
I'm gonna put that in my bag.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
And I'm gonna slip the ring off of your finger, and then I'll put it on mine, but then I'll put the matching ring that I have on mine back on your finger.
I'm assuming you are taking his potion of healing?
He has
There.
he had a potion of healing?
Yeah.
I didn't get an
Motherfucker.
opportunity to use it.
Yeah, I'll take that potion of healing. I mean,
This sounds so
yeah.
macabre, but he also has a chain shirt, heavy crossbow, rapier, some bolts, rations.
I'll take the rations and the crossbow.
How many rations do you want?
I have 11 on me.
Yeah, he's got 11.
I'll
Jesus,
have
man.
11.
I don't know if you can
I
carry
have
11
11
more
now.
rations. You have 10 already.
Okay, well, I don't need them.
Okay, leaving the rations. And you said you wanted the crossbow?
Yeah.
So give you the crossbow and the bolts.
Among his personal affects that he kept to keep himself looking good and all that fun stuff. He had some perfume, some oil for his hair, a personal pocket mirror that was gifted to him by our mother.
I'm gonna grab all his personal items and just like put it in a like separate pouch of my bag.
Alrighty. And then he has the chain shirt and the rapier.
Ooh, I'm gonna leave the chain shirt, probably.
Alrighty.
Darian's gonna sort of walk over and sort of crouch down, sloth squat style, and sort of just look at you and look down at the body and look at the chain shirt and look back up at her. Slowly start to take it off of him.
I bat your hand away, and I'll do it.
Okay.
Alrighty, so Phaedra, you're taking off the chain shirt. Are you giving it to Darian or are you keeping it on you?
I guess I'm giving it to Darian.
Thank you.
God, this
I'm also
feels
gonna
so
take 5 of those
macabre just going
rations.
through player character stuff.
Sucks to suck.
Hey, we need it. It's
I
all good.
hate you.
I'm
need it more than he
sorry.
does.
Also, my foundry's crashing.
That's unfortunate.
We love taking.
But yeah, I'm also gonna take 5 rations, so I'll add that in myself.
Alrighty.
From his 11,
Enjoy my beef jerky.
I will. It's currently not what I'm munching on right now at all. In fact, they are sort of stand up as you hand him the chain shirt. Well, I see we have 2 options. We either leave them here, which I am not in favor of doing, or we find a place to give them a proper burial.
We're not leaving them here.
Just said it was an option, not that I wanted to do it. Well, there's 2 options. We either bury them here, or we try to find some place to bring them. But I don't exactly know where the hell we are. So, and I don't have a shovel either.
Just kind of looking around. Do I see any locations that would be a nice place to bury someone.
Well, as you're looking around, Jack, Mitch, your characters have been hiding out in a building just couple buildings down from this house. The fog caught you out as you guys were traveling through, and now you hear voices of people outside. If you would like to introduce your character, Jack.
So definitely, we're in the house to double check, right?
You guys are in a house down the road, like a couple houses down, and you guys hear voices outside.
So this hobgoblin guy, who's not the stealthiest individual, just sort of like half poking his head out, trying to like make sure the darkness of the general area isn't having him be seen, and just piercing down the street, trying to get look on what exactly it is. He's got sort of bright red skin. He's wearing armor that has sort of violet purple-ish colors to it, and leaning up against one of his shoulders and almost kind of propped up against the ceiling, he's got a pike with a banner on it, and he's just not saying anything, but he is gonna look down and not see anything, and then he'll look back at the person who's with him.
Mitch, if you'd like to introduce your character.
You look down at a thin, pale-skinned man who's squatting over a small camp stove right now, trying to just get some water boiling. You notice that his head is completely covered in an oxidized gray steel mask with bands riveted in place and locking it to his head. And you can only make out the slightest tint of blue from his eyes through the holes cut into it. And the only other opening is the cage-like contraption over the slit where the mouth could be. You see he's donned in tattered brown shirt, a sandy gray slacks that are tucked into dirty black boots, and a silver amulet of a gauntleted hand carved into it drapes down off of his neck as he's stirring the pot of water every once in a while just to get all the sediment, making sure there's no sediment gathering. And you can see that the gauntleted hand on the amulet is the sigil of Helm, the Vigilant Watcher. And on his left wrist, a simple twine and blue beaded bracelet that looks extremely out of place, as the chainmail that's clearly oversized for his malnourished body pokes through the gaps of his clothing. What you got your eyes on over there? Getting you just?
Yeah. I think we've got other folk out in the fog. Doesn't sound like the voices that have been coming through over the last while.
Sweet hell's more victims for the fog, eh?
Probably. I'm gonna risk a closer look. Give me a second. And Archie will take one arm and lean out partially out a window and sort of look back down the street the other way before looking in the direction very slowly and cautiously, trying to lean out and actually see like whoever's making this noise.
You lean out this window and you see two figures hunched over two corpses on the ground, seemingly taking what was left on the bodies for themselves. A woman in blue and a man covered in clothing and trying to, hide out from everything that's going on around here.
He'll try and whisper, but he won't like stop looking at them while he's talking back. Looks like we've got some looters of some kind. Hope they didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Phaedra, as you're looking around trying to find a place to bury your brother, you see a red-skinned hobgoblin man peek from one of the windows.
I make direct eye contact with whoever this man is. I'm not playing any games. I got my staff in front of me, and I look ready to blast you if you seem hostile.
Archie will just, whoa, and he'll put up one of his hands so that it's sort of like 90-degree pointing up to the sky. And just stare back. Well, caster, so that's interesting, looks like.
The moment that Phaedra starts like staring at someone intently and preparing to cast a spell, I just turn around, see the dude slowly pull heavy crossbow off my back. Oh, great.
Archie, as you're looking, you do notice that one of the corpses on the ground looks near identical to the woman in blue. Maybe a sibling.
You guys will see the Redskin Hobgoblin man turn inside and look at you, do. So, looks like you probably didn't kill them. They're probably burying their dead. Go out and say hi and risk dying, or what are you cooking? Is that good stuff, or?
I got water, got greens, got some of this. He scoops out on this wooden spoon this horrendous looking gray meat that you're not sure is edible. Meat.
Right, yeah, what? I'm gonna make an executive decision. Whatever that is can probably wait. Let's go say hi.
He just drops the spoon, dusts his hands off.
Look, we can come back for it. I'm sure it's not that bad.
Well, watch her protect us and all that. Lead the way. Come on, boss.
Alright. Make my way downstairs and very casually walk out the door with a soldier's walking pace. And definitely, again, over his shoulder, this big 8-foot pike. And at the top of it is a banner that has the symbol of a purple dragon on it. And Archie will stop like 15 feet away from you two and just sort of, again, give a wave and a little bit of a smile under his beard.
Tyrion has
Yeah.
the heavy crossbow pointed directly at you and is just squinting.
20 seconds later, slowly, lazily, like he doesn't want to be there, you see that masked man in tattered clothing just slinking his way out of the house.
Since we've gotten to Barovia, we haven't seen any like real people, right?
You've not seen a living soul.
Is there any way to like look at these guys and try to confirm if they're in fact real people and not more ghosts?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Dang, good thing we get past the Ghostbusters check, hopefully. Always a very valid check.
24?
Oh,
24, yeah. You can tell by the fact that, the masked man might be a little sus for Ghost, but then you notice, like, him walking, kicking up rocks and stuff like that. Ghost, can't really interact with the material all that much. And the Hobgoblin man just looks too happy to be dead.
She'll kind of lower her staff a little, but still eyeing you two coming up to us very suspiciously. And she'll sort of step in front of her brother's corpse, almost like protectively.
Terrible weather we're having, yeah?
Yeah, the fog's a real bitch.
Perfect. Pleasure to meet you. What are you doing in here?
Stumbled in. What about you, Cormirian?
Marched in. Do they're friends. Introduce yourself. Come on. And I like look back and head nod over.
you just see him wave ever so lazily with one of his hands. Joe, you can just call me Do. Close enough. Y'all not dead, right?
Just shakes her head.
Huh. Well, good enough for me. Yeah, Doviska. priest of Helm and all that. Well, are you injured?
I'll get up for a priest.
Yeah, well, odd place to be in.
Oh,
Circumstances kind of got me tits up. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron sort of looks back at Phaedra, still very guarded.
So,
Okay. Come on, speak up. Any of you injured? Wounds? Those two. Yeah, they're gone. Do you want me to like spread salts on them or something?
she just shakes her head. Any good places to bury them?
He kind of like leans back a little bit. There was a shovel around the back of that house that we were staying at. Some grass. Didn't look too packed down. There's a church up the road as well.
What
Yeah,
kind of church?
I don't know. Didn't get close enough look at it, you know? Not really my business.
You said you were a priest.
Yeah?
Just kind of squints at you, but decides she doesn't care enough to ask. Just shakes her head and I'll prop Marlowe back up across my shoulders and are we going?
Here, let me give you a hand with that fella there. I'll take. And he carefully approaches, like with hands up, like you're good, you're good. You ain't gonna blast me with that staff, are you?
Aaron still has the crossbow pointed at both of you, by the way.
She
He kind of like taps the bolt, the tip of your bolt, and like pushes the tip away from him. Just don't point that at me, please.
Let me guess. Recently entered this land.
pretty recently. What is this land?
Good question.
Closest you can get to the Nine Hells on the material plane. Not literally. There's no fire and brimstone. It's just, this place sucks.
Hell seems a lot more reasonable than this place. At least hell makes sense. This is worse. So much worse.
How do we get out?
Haven't figured that out yet ourselves.
My guess is he points through the fog. There's a lady up in the castle up the way there. And she seems real important. Might want to go talk to her.
Local nobility would be a good guess. But that castle's difficult to approach.
All right, come on.
Even if we
I
don't
got-
want to go to the church out of religious sanctimony or anything. There's an old tavern nearby. Probably no one running it, but bare minimum. At least it's shelter.
We'll get the burial going first. We'll drink some of my
looking-
terrible stew.
Looking
Right.
past, like, is that a field over there?
Up that way? Yeah, seems to just be an
Yeah.
empty field. It's not like a flat field though, it's rising up, more into hills. Lots of rocks, lots of craggy spots.
I'm not gonna say anything, just I'm gonna start heading towards the top of that hill.
You know, you didn't even introduce yourself.
Just keeps walking.
Hey, give her a second, And Archie's face, like his expression, will lower slightly, and he'll give a head nod over to the what he assumes is a family member dead body, to hopefully point that out if it was not noticed.
Arian will shoulder the heavy crossbow and pick up Jorum's dead corpse and shoulder that, and just have his hand on his rapier as he just glares at both of them and follows Phaedra.
Seriously, no manners. All these people. What's your names?
Nunya.
Well, Nunya, nice to meet you.
Classic.
Just glares at both of them and keeps walking.
Archie will follow.
Catch up with you in a second. Gotta go grab my shit. He quickly
Got
rushes
it.
back to the house, grabs his pack.
Don't die.
You run back and you grab your pack as the rest of you all head up the hill. I'm assuming to find a nice place to bury your companions.
Yes, and I will, beforehand, stop and grab the shovel out back that they mentioned. Because I was
Gotcha.
listening, even though it didn't sound like it.
As you all head up to the hill, as you're walking up it, you do notice on an adjacent hill over to the other side a cemetery.
Huh.
I'm not burying my brother in some shady ass cemetery that probably has undead.
As we catch up to Phaedra and Darian. So, do you want me to like bless the body or something? You know, protect it from being undead and all that. You know, with all the ghouls and ghosts and goblins sneaking around here. Might be worth it.
If you could, that would be good.
All right. As we begin to, you know, make a hole,
Mm.
lay the bodies down in, I'm going to begin ritual casting Gentle Repose. I just have a pouch of salt that I'm just kind of sprinkling all over the bodies to preserve them. And as they're being lowered down, I'm gonna place 2 copper coins on each of their eyes and just grab onto my holy symbol around my neck of Helm and be like, "Oh, hey, Helm, if you got a minute, make sure that these 2 don't become ghoulies. Yeah, do me a favor here."
Admiral.
And I'm going to cast Gentle Repose twice.
Alrighty.
We love ritual casting.
Over the next 20 minutes, you perform this ritual. You touch both the corpses as you all lay them, I'm assuming, in the graves.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna
as
cut off like
Oh, sorry.
oh, sorry. Do
Phaedra,
I go
you first.
Okay. Before we like bury them, I'm gonna cut off a length of my hair and tie it on Marlowe's wrists, and I'm gonna mutter a prayer for safe passage.
With a grunt, Jew lifts himself out of the second hole, withdraws his body. All right, there we go. He rubs the mud and the dirt off of his onto his pants. Helm should watch over him for a little bit. I'll put this one on your tab, all right? Shit, this is. Any last words before you say bye?
She just kind of silently shakes her head.
Do any of y'all hate music?
Darren
Huh?
just slowly tilts his head up at Archie, just confused.
I know a eulogy or two, but I promise not to be loud enough to attract anything.
Listen, he's very good, actually. May not look like it, but he's got pipes on him. Or fingers. I can't remember.
I am indifferent to the matter.
Well, alrighty. Archie has his pack on his back, and he is going to reach out and unfold and slightly blow in and reinflate a set of bagpipes.
Oh, Lord.
God.
Darian's
And
just
he is
gonna
going
try-
to
he's gonna pick
attempt
up
to do it
some
quietly, of course, but
It's
he is going
bagpipes,
to.
motherfucker. You can't be
I
quiet with
know,
bagpipes.
as stealthy as
So good.
possible. And yeah, we're gonna do a warrior's eulogy.
Oh.
Stealth. Boy, boy, boy.
Yep.
You perform this warrior's eulogy. Yeah, you play the fuck out of those bagpipes. The music carries across the town as a few solitary ravens turn into a small flock of them as they wheel overhead, cawing at you guys before moving on.
Refold up bagpipes, put them back, grab the pike that he had stuck into the ground behind him, and
What
Beautiful.
to do, everyone?
Beautiful. Wonderful. Just
thank you.
round
Thank
it.
you.
No,
Louder than I
seeing
thought. Though.
nobody
We should
else-
probably move.
Seeing nobody else clap. It's just like the slow fade out of clapping.
Darian just finishes shoveling the dirt back onto the two of them as he puts a shovel, which I will add into my inventory, sort of in his back. Well, appreciate the help.
Still haven't done introductions if you're interested. Traveling no numbers count in this place, anywhere in this land, is not something I'd recommend from experience.
Hmm.
Also, Gruel's rules. I give you my name, you give me yours.
Gruel's rules.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Phaedra.
Darian.
All right. Big hat, teeth. Nice to meet you.
Teeth.
You got a big smile. You got a nice smile on you.
You have not seen him smile once. Uh-huh. Right.
Listen, I don't know what you guys' deal is. Yeah, people died. I lost my party. He lost his entire band. It's about time for you guys to get over it. We're fucked either way. So
Yeah.
we're heading on down to the tavern over there. We're gonna try to pick up some allies. Maybe find a way to get the fuck out of this place. You guys can come along or not. I really couldn't care.
Dude, no need to be rude. Come on.
Well, they were being dicks first.
They're
Kinda
being
kind.
fine.
Girls rules. You give what you get. They're being dicks.
We're
I'm being a
being-
dick.
Cautious.
Just, dude, could you go scout ahead down the hill and make sure we got a good path? None of them shadows creeping around in alleyways.
Fine. As dude heads down back towards the town, back towards the tavern, scouting out the roads.
Archie will cross his arms and look over at you guys.
Phaedra's still, like, kneeling over the grave. Sort of hasn't made eye contact with anyone here, really.
Archie will look over at Darian. Darian, was it?
Hmm.
I know you have no reason to trust me, but surely this, and he'll one thumb point up at the banner of Cormier flying over him and the end of his pipe. Count for enough that you know that if you want to go down and scout ahead as well, make sure the place we're not walking to is another death trap. I'll make sure no one kills her while she takes a second.
Look at him and look back at Phaedra. All right. sort of as he's walking past, Phaedra just sort of will whisper out to her, "He tries to kill you. Just scream or something. Shoot him in the back." As he just starts walking.
Two of you walk down the hill, two of you remain at the top. Phaedra, how long do you wish to stand there at the grave of your brother?
I always carry like some random like wildflower seeds with me. I want to just sprinkle it over the grave and pat it down a bit. Take out my water skin and sort of empty it over the dirt. And she'll stand up and, still not making eye contact with Archie that's beside her, start making her way back down the hill.
Grab his pike out of the ground and follow.
Alrighty. Dew and Darian, you both make your way down the hill. Are you going back this way you came, or are you going down one of the other streets that you see?
I knew where the tavern is, right? Like I passed by it
you
once or
passed
twice.
by it. You would know it's the big building in the center here.
Yeah, I would have went down to the first T junction there and waited for the rest of everybody else to stay there with my hands on my hips, kind of just adjusting the mace that's hanging off by a simple loop strap. Pulls out a dagger, kind of like looks at it a little bit, wipes it off on his pants as he sees Darian approaching. Hey, good for you to join me, Darian.
Darian has his hand on his rapier hilt.
Still haven't answered my question. You guys came out of that house down the road, right? They're dead. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
You sure? You look like
Uh-huh.
shit.
I look down, having been completely unscathed for the fight. Look back up at him. I'm quite fine.
Huh.
Phaedra might have taken a hit or two, but I think she is also fine. We managed to survive that rather unscathed compared to our compatriots.
Yeah, man. No, I get it. Losing family really, really sucks.
Not my family.
Yeah. That wasn't your brother?
Nope.
Oh, the other guy. Right. Hers. Huh. Well, life has a way of just, how do I say, kicking you in the teeth when you're down. She'll get used to it, especially here.
They're dead. There's no fixing that.
Tell me about it. So,
Continue.
what's left looks right.
Are you want to give me a good old perception check?
Yeah, I'm percepted.
You're percepting pretty fucking good. As you stand at this little T junction waiting for the remainder of your party to come and visit you, you hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobblestones just down the road. You look through the rapidly thinning mist, it's very, very light now, and see a small, hunched figure bundled in rags pushing a rickety wooden cart.
Huh. Just gonna step off to the side of the road. The last thing I want to do is get run over by a cart and end my life here. That'd be bad. Real bad.
Oh, it's a small little hand cart, nothing big.
Regardless.
You see as she goes, she knocks on each door. Just a few solitary knocks. Waits a minute. Goes back to her cart and goes to the next one.
As she's passing by, Hello? Hey.
Oh, hello.
Don't really see many people moving around. What's with the cart?
Oh, I'm selling some meat pies and pastries. Would you
Huh.
like some?
You know what? Yeah. Feeling pretty hungry. Hey, Darian, this one's on me, huh?
Nope,
No.
don't want
I'm gonna
it.
I'm gonna lean over the cart. Do I see the meat pies and pastries?
You smell them, and they smell phenomenal. It seems to be underneath a
Huh.
little, cloth.
Gonna reach over and pull some of the cloth back.
Yeah, you see some pretty good-looking croissants and a few, meat pies. Little small ones, like, hand ones. Not like a full,
Listen.
like, situation.
Listen, I've gotten pretty desperate. I've eaten meats I probably shouldn't have. So I'll go with the croissants. You know what? Give me a bundle of those, like a baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen, big spender, are you?
Ah, real hungry.
Well, she starts to pile up the croissants into a little it's a cloth. It doesn't look the cleanest, but it doesn't look super dirty either. Looks kind of like everything else in here, just old.
Right immaculate. Thank you. And how much is it?
That'll run you let's call it 3 gold.
Good God. You see his hand twitch ever so slightly as he reaches for his coin pouch. You know, if you're gonna ream me over, you could let me know the price first.
You
Hey,
didn't ask.
hell, it's on me. You're right, ma'am. Shakes his head, takes one of the croissants after handing her the 3 coins and thunk into the helmet, and then just lets out the loudest.
It tastes phenomenal. Everything you've had since you've had here has been tasteless or downright foul.
Mm-hmm.
This tastes like fresh bread. You can taste the butter. It's flaky. It's the best
Sadly,
thing you've had here.
he rolls his head back a little bit as he's enjoying it, but the croissant that he shoved into his helmet got grated by the cage that's over the mouth. And he goes, "No, seriously, Darian, you really should try one of these." I'm gonna hold a croissant up to him.
No, I'm not taking anything from here.
You should. And I'm gonna start tapping the side of his face with a croissant.
I'm going to bat his hand away. Don't touch me.
I didn't touch you. The croissant did. Take it.
That's by proxy touching me.
Right? Eat the croissant, man.
I'm
It's
not
good.
taking your fucking croissant.
Like, I can see not trusting the meat pies. The meat pies can be made out of people, but croissants are made out of butter.
I'm quite fine.
Seriously.
Nope. You're
Mm,
not going to convince me to eat anything.
I promise I'll heal you if you get sick.
I don't even trust you to begin with.
Ah,
As you all are bickering, the
I'm
woman
an
has pushed her
extremely
hand cart
trustworthy-
back down the road, continuing back around the corner.
what about me says untrustworthy?
You have a cage on your head.
Yeah, Shit, do I need to tell you my life story? Do you want to hear my tragic backstory? Okay,
Absolutely
I came
not.
here. I came here on an adventure. I got
said you didn't
captured, and
want
I got a helmet put on my head because
didn't
the
want to
bitch
hear.
in the castle fucking hates me. I don't fucking know. It's not my fault. I didn't put this thing on my head because I wanted to.
Right.
Nope.
Eat the damn croissant.
I'm not eating the fucking croissant.
Phaedra and Archie, you guys come upon Doe and Darian arguing over croissants. The smell of the croissants is phenomenal.
Big smile on Archie's face. He'll just walk on up. Right. Did I miss anything important?
No.
Or
Yes,
just bread?
actually, the best damn pastries I've ever had in my life. Look at these little weird moon-shaped things. They taste like butter in heaven. I mean, if Celestia was to have food, this is what ambrosia would. If it was food instead of a drink. Seriously, try it here. I'm gonna give him a croissant.
He'll take the croissant, sniff it. Oh, that does smell quite good. Later. And he'll put it in his pouch for later.
Alrighty. Is anyone else partaking of croissants?
Nobody bought fucking 13 of
You
them.
bought a fucking ton of them.
Yeah.
Mitch, add 12 croissants to your inventory.
Phaedra, dude's gonna approach you. He's gonna unfold the wrappings with the croissants. Here, this might make you feel better.
A baked good is gonna make me feel better from losing my brother.
At least you won't be hungry.
I'm good.
I'm adding
Yeah. He's just gonna wrap
goods
them
to your
back up.
inventory. We will say that this functions as rations essentially if you eat it.
Sounds good.
Didn't mean to add that second one. Also, Mitch.
Hmm?
There you go. Okay.
God.
Do I feel anything as I finish the croissant?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
Tastes fucking delicious.
Ooh,
Alright.
that's good.
So you both don't know how to get out of this hellhole?
No, it's a work in progress. Want to, though?
Huh.
I can explain more over, ale if they still got it.
Hmm.
Hell, I could go for some grog.
You all continue walking down these dampened roads. The sound of the little wooden wheels echoing off in the distance, the only other sound you hear aside from your footsteps. As you turn the corner, walk down the road, and you see a single shaft of light illuminating the main square. Looking kind of like almost a solid pillar in the light fog. And you see above the doorway a sign that hangs very precariously askew, proclaiming the place to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. But it seems like it's open. Do you all head inside?
Of course, of
Yes.
course.
Alrighty. You enter into this roughly 60-foot square building. You can tell it was once very finely appointed, but has grown quite shoddy and run down over the years. As you walk in, you see a blazing fire in the hearth that gives some scant warmth to you as you enter inside. You see behind the counter a barkeep, 3 women sitting at a table, and a man off in the corner, sipping on some wine and seemingly enjoying his day.
Finally, some comfort, like tucking underneath a giant's nutsack.
As you all walk in, the barkeeper just looks up at you and goes back down to polishing a glass. The 3 women at the table just kind of do the same thing, look up at you, and then return back to their conversation. But the man in the corner, you see a pale man with almost shoulder-length blonde wavy hair, chiseled jaw and heavy brows, and decently nice clothing. Not, the typical run-down old stuff that you've seen around here, but something of decent standing. Phaedra, you recognize a fellow noble when you see one. And you see as you guys walk in, he kind of perks up from his wine and looks up and sees you all, and a big smile starts to creep across his face as he waves a hand at you all and beckons for you to join him. Hello, my friends. Come over. Come on, please, come have a drink with me.
free food, free drinks. Dude's gonna head on over, take his little ruddy sack and drop it on the ground beside his seat, and immediately take one. Ah, nice to meet you. Finally,
meet you.
somebody with manners around here. I'm gonna offer him a dirty-handed handshake, but a handshake nonetheless.
He thrusts out a hand and shakes yours. My name is Ismark. It is pleasure to meet you.
Pleasant to meet you as well, Ismark. I'm due. And, well, try to get their names out of them. It's gonna be a fight and a half.
Well, I find that is best done over wine. Arik, please, wine for all of my new companions over here. As you see the barkeep raises his head, grunts, and goes to pour glasses of wine for each of you.
Well, you're in high spirits, Ismark, you know, with all of the everything that's going on. What's got you all pepped?
Well, you see, I am in high spirits because you are going to be my new favorite friend. I have not seen many new people around here. It has been so long since we've had some company that is not quite so dour, though your friends do look a little dour. Come, please, friends, come sit.
Oh, I'm gonna lean in closely. Oh yeah, so she lost her brother, and he lost not a brother. A lot of people just died, you know.
Yeah, Ismark very excitedly waves you all over and beckons you to come join him. The barkeeper comes over and at each of the chairs places a glass of wine for everybody.
I'll come sit by him, but I'm not gonna touch the wine.
Alrighty.
Sit down next to Phaedra and just pick up the wine and sniff it.
It smells like wine. Doesn't smell particularly good or bad. Just a standard, lower quality red.
I will take a small, as if I was a shit. What are they called?
The sommelier.
Sommelier, yes, and take a drink of it, swish it around, see if it's poison. If I need to spit it back out.
No poison that you can tell. It just seems to. It's a little sour, but it's wine. Honestly, pretty nice considering the day you've had.
Just take a sip of it, put it back down as I sort of cross my arms and let them do the talking.
Archie?
He doesn't take a seat. He'll just stand up, cross his arms, and just stand nearby, sort of half facing the group and everything, but also just trying to keep an eye out if anyone else enters the tavern, on the other patrons in the tavern. Definitely with his back to a wall.
As you mentioned to him, dude, that her brother has just died and that Darian has had someone else pass. He looks down and seems rather somber for a moment before he puts that smile back on his face, and he takes his wine glass and raises it slightly. A toast, then, to all we have lost. He raises the glass to a little toast and takes a sip of his wine.
I'll tink him, but I'll just put the wine glass back down.
So, my friends, how did you all come to be here?
You know what? Someone else take the lead on this one. I really could not describe it even if I tried.
Happenstance.
I'm assuming you all got caught in the fog and you ended up here, yes?
By one means or another.
Yes, it is unfortunate that it happens on occasion. I mean, just a few days ago, and he looks to Archie, I remember seeing your whole group come through here. Rather loud group. Where are they all now?
Cormyrian business.
Right, Cormyrian business. Is that the business happened to be going up to the big castle down the way and dealing with the problem?
Hopefully.
Hmm.
The problem?
Ah, yes. If you are new here, you do not know the problem. We have issue with a rather beautiful but rather deadly vampire lady that is more or less the ruler of this area. And that brings me to why I am so happy to see you all here. Because I must. And you see his shoulders drop for a second. I very much need your help.
Listen, the last time that I helped someone out who was happy to have me along, and he's constantly doing the finger quotes thing, I ended up walking into a mysterious fog and getting captured by the wicked witch of the cat. Why the fuck am I doing it? Listen, I just want to get out of here.
Do as we discussed before, the only way out is through.
He snaps and points a finger at the Archie. Exactly.
Right, sorry. Yeah, go for it, sure.
Well, what I mainly need your help with is it. It is my sister. This Lady Strahd has taken quite an interest in my sister, and she likes to make visits. And I worry if we don't get my sister to somewhere safer than this village, that she will not survive. I will accompany you and I will pay you and I will do whatever I need, but I need help getting her at least to the next town over, the one that is better prepared to be dealing with this monster.
And the town is.
Well, there's a couple. We have Valaki, we have Kresk. Honestly, if you could just help me get to Valaki, I'd be happy.
So you're just looking for help to bring your sister from whatever town we're in right now to Valaki.
Yes, you are in village of Borovia. We go up road and take her to Valaki. I would take her myself, but it is just me, and as good as with a sword I am not that good that I can handle all of Lady Strahd's things that she can throw at us.
Right, and why would we do such a thing for you?
How much gold would you like?
How much gold do you have?
Those head immediately snaps over to him like, ooh.
He looks you all over. As long as my sister is safe, I will give you whatever I can. My father is the burgomaster of the village. We have money. We can pay you. I
Is it
just
a
want to see my
requirement
sister safe.
that is it a requirement that we be secret and stealthy on this journey? Will it be under the gaze of this blight?
Well, I do not know if she has gaze on us when we are traveling, but no, we are not required to be stealthy. Just travel up the road to the next village.
I thought
Good, I'm
we
not very
couldn't
subtle.
leave the town.
No, you can leave the town. You just cannot leave Borovia. The valley, not the town.
Listen, we would do anything for the son of the burgomaster. Anything you said, right? Everything you got. That's what you said.
I'll pay you everything that I can to see my sister's safety.
Well, I'm gonna say we'll make it worth your while. We'll get your sister, or whatever her name was, over
Irina.
to the next. Say, sure, right. We'll get her over to the next town, and we'll make it worth your while.
Darian's brow twitches.
One thing to
Lady
make everybody.
Strahd.
Go ahead, ask your question. First.
I. You know,
She's responsible for all the horrors in this town.
Not that I am aware of. I think, well, she is mainly just ruler of the place, but she has not done anything to make life better. Then she just every night comes, visits my sister, and she's just my sister is getting worse, and I cannot stand seeing her waste away like she is.
Toxic relationships, am I right? Awkwardly leans his head back and like does the long distance pour of wine through the grate in the mask.
and is there anything that we need to worry about specifically?
I mean,
Either
there will
about
be,
your-
you know, the roads are, they're not safe, but they're not the most dangerous thing in the world. It's mainly just things that come out of the woodworks. You get some wolves, some undead creatures, some ghosts, a few bats.
Right. And your sister is able to walk?
Yes, she is not so sickly that she cannot walk yet.
Right. I am not opposed to the matter.
I'll do it.
I knew you all would become my best friends. Well, drink up. If you need food, I pay for it. We make sure you guys are well taken care of before we go and pick up my sister. Yes?
Dude is very excited, and he is just taking advantage of the free wine and free food. 100%.
Darian just stares at him. Sure thing, Mr. Clovan.
He looks at you. So you already know who I am?
Hmm?
You said last name, well, it's little. You said it a little wrong, but yes.
Oh, Colvin, my bad.
Oh, Kolyanovich.
Oh, Kolyanovich.
Yes.
Hmm.
Kolyan was my father.
Do what we can. Darian finishes the wine and just sort of stands up and looks at the other three of them. You can sit around here if you want, but I'm going to get some air. Just walks
I'll
outside.
join you. I'm not one for stuffy places filled with alcoholic smell. And he will also go outside with Darian if that's okay.
Sick. As they abandon their food and wine, Doe is gonna slide the plates and cups over to himself.
My wine is already finished.
Damn it.
I drank none of the wine and none of the food. I already ate.
He picks up your cup, looks at it, sees it's empty, puts it back down, reaches across, grabs both of yours.
She just gives you a side eye and just slides her wine over to you.
When merriment's present, you must celebrate. If food is out, you must eat. And when there is a seat for you to take, you must sit. Don't judge me. Stop looking at me like that. Now I'm losing my appetite. Shit. Why'd you do that?
She just doesn't really respond, just sighs and sort of leans back onto the counter and sort of just closes her eyes for a moment.
Alrighty, we'll go outside first. The two outside. What are you guys up to?
Darian's walked outside and has sort of opened up his book and leaned up against the wall as he's muttering, aka swearing in Elvish under his breath, as he pulls out the letter with the B and starts rereading it and points to a couple things and points to a couple other things in his book.
Archie will give him a second before walking on over, and he will lean up his pike up against the wall so that the banner's not touching the wall or anything. And he'll lean up against the wall and slink down. So, definitely not telling us something.
Vampire.
Probably.
Darian immediately like sort of picks up the letter from the dude who's the dad of these two and points at the words, "My daughter has been bitten by a vampire."
Ah, shit. That's gonna draw them to us.
Yeah, well, she's already pretty much gone, unless there is something I don't know about changing people back. And regardless, like you said, they will either be drawn to that, or she is already too far gone.
Not good.
No. But whether he knows that or not, he should, at this point, should not take that long for the effects of being turned by a vampire to kick in.
Going to get messy then. We can bare minimum, worst case scenario, get him the next town over if it comes to it.
That is true.
I was headed in that direction anyways. Well, I was headed here and then said I would find things that would aid me once I got in that direction, but we'll see.
Does your religious companion have holy water?
I don't think I've seen him touch the stuff.
Well, more of that would be appreciated.
Pretty sure he
Especially if
could
is a
make some.
vampire.
It's just... Right. Even then, knowing all the surefire stuff is difficult.
Darian sort of closes the book. Well, the easiest thing is disabling them and then driving the stake through their heart. But that is going to be tougher than it may seem. As he sort of shuts the book and puts it in his back.
Archie's gonna look over at you, and this, bearded smile, general, positive demeanor, fades for a second, and he looks over you at the mention of, oh, it's, pretty surefire. You can just, stake him through the heart. He looks over with a bit of weight behind his eyes. I promise you this. No matter what we encounter out there, any surefire means of dealing with it, we ought to avoid any kind of combative interaction, if at all possible. The creatures in this land are not mindless beasts. They know. And because they know, it will be infinitely difficult to deal with them.
Darian sort of has, for the first time, a little twisted smirk to his face. That makes the hunt so much better.
Hunt?
Nothing. But we should get on the road if we are to get this done today.
So you two are coming with us?
As your friend so ineloquently said, you are right that traveling in numbers is going to be safer, and I don't honestly give a damn whether or not Phaedra thinks either way. We're going. Because I cannot leave her here to die by herself.
If, means isn't enough to keep anyone safe here, nothing will.
It does not mean trust has been gained, it just means that we're means to an end for each other.
I get it. I don't expect trust right away, nor even eventually. We have jobs, and we'll do them. That's how it goes.
Right. When I was absolutely ignoring Mr. Helmet's backstory rant that he was trying to convince me with croissants, he mentioned something about being taken a prisoner here.
Yeah, he talked to me a bit about that. He didn't go into too much detail. Oh, I'm sorry?
No, I was just going to say, was your Coromirians ambushed and attacked? So I'm guessing since you are no longer together with your Knights of Purple, that they're not alive anymore.
He's just gonna give you a bit of a somber, but also a bit of an angry look. Not at you, but just about the subject.
Well, as you said, means to an end. Or as I said, means to an end. And I don't need to dilly-dally and have this fucking helmet man goad more on food.
Yes, he enjoys plenty while he can.
Hmm.
Not a terrible thing. If we die on this, last thing I'll have eaten is hardtack. And he'll stand on up, take the pike off the wall.
As you stand up and take the pike off the wall, you see a raven perched up on the roof, just look at you, let out a caw, and fly off.
Sort of from around the side of the building, my familiar, who I totally forgot was still at the house, comes roaming around the corner trying to chase after it. Nick, come on. Come here. As it sort of crawls up my back.
Archie, you see an undead cat crawl up on his shoulder.
You will see, like, he'll put his hand around it in an instant, but he will not draw it. Archie, almost immediately, one arm still holding the pike up, with his offhand, will reach down and grasp around the hilt of his longsword at his waist.
Darian sort of throws a hand up. Familiars are messed up here. Something about the outlying magic probably has to do with the mist.
So
And
it's just magic stuff. That's okay.
Still a familiar. And
Take his
for your
hand up.
knowledge, Phaedra has one as well. I think it's a bird or some shit.
Right. Thanks for the heads up. That's actually good to know.
Magic is twisted here, of sorts.
Not something I'd know. The group I brought with me wasn't exactly magically inclined, and do has some proficiency in the arts, but he's not exactly bold with it.
Well, I'll stay out here if you want to grab them. I don't think undead cats are going to be great indoors.
Might as well grab the others, get a march on while the night is young.
Oh.
Back inside, you are going to town on, it's gruel. There's some meat in it. You're not sure what kind. But the wine is at least decent. Nothing
Can I
compares
tell
to
what
the
kind of
fucking
meat this
croissants
is?
you had earlier.
Is this like cats or dogs? I've had cat and dog before.
You can't tell what it is. It is mystery meat. It's the mystery meat that's thrown in like a forever stew that the ability to figure out what the fuck it is has long since been removed.
It's
The-
people. It's always people.
the
It
thought
tastes kind of like
him
chicken.
Wait. Do I remember ever seeing or hearing any chickens?
Yeah, you've seen some sickly looking
Oh, okay.
chickens here and there.
Yeah, sickly looking chicken, still chicken. You just gotta cook it real good, which this is. After a few minutes of eating, just stop some stuff. So, Phaedra, right?
Yes, it's Phaedra.
So, that was your brother.
My twin.
Might not
It's
mean much.
my fault.
No, don't do that to yourself. It's not your
Alright.
fault. It's. He points off to the western hall. It's her fault. It's this place's fault. It's not your fault.
Sure. What's with the cage?
as he kind of wipes off some of the food that's gotten stuck to the outside of it. Well, me and my crew, we got snagged up by the Strahd lady. None of them made it, sadly. She kept me alive for some reason. Thought it'd be funny to put this thing on me. And it's stuck. But enough about this. It's just a helmet. It's just a mask. Who cares about that? It might not mean much coming from me there, but kind of know what you're going through, so I get how you're feeling. If you need someone to talk to, it's hard to hear you because he kind of taps the side of the helmet, but I'm a pretty good listener.
Thanks, but I just met you.
Right.
Mel, can I, looking at the cage, because I am proficient in history, do I know any significance behind it? Like what it is? Why he got on that thing?
It just seems to be a cage that is meant to make his life fucking difficult. It makes eating and drinking a nightmare. It makes you unable to really see much of his face. And by the, rusty metal look of it, I probably chafed something awful on the neck and shoulders. Not to mention the claustrophobia you'd feel by having all that press up against your face.
Is there like a lock on it? Does it seem like there's any mechanism to even take the thing off?
Is there a lock on yours?
Sadly, I checked the entire thing. It seems completely sealed shut. That all the cracks seem to be welded closed, no lock. It seems to be one piece minus the rivets for the mockingly slightly face-shaped band that makes him look like he's got a beak-like nose. No locks.
Unfortunate.
You know, I can tell that you're staring at me.
I am.
He just kind of awkwardly, you see his eyes shift around, like, looks at you, looks at the roof, looks to the left, looks at his food.
Ismark is just sitting between you guys, just sipping wine, not saying anything.
So, this Lady Strahd person, is she the cause of...
Cause of what now?
You know, the fog that's keeping us in here.
I can't guess so. I mean, I didn't really get to meet her, right? The missus, she seems all sorts of crazy. I could see it, right? You know how power hungry people can be and all that, taking control. I mean, I'd guess she's got some crazy ritual going on. You know, cursing these people, all that fun stuff, pulling more people into it. Sadist. She seems like the sadist type, maybe. Just
And
just a guess.
you fought her?
Fought her? No. Gods no.
He would not be alive if he fought her.
Right. No, we got to the front door. Yeah. No, her.
No shit, you made it all the
guard.
way to the front door.
There was a lot of screaming. There was a lot of yelling. But yeah, we made it there.
You made it a fair bit farther than most. I am right to ask
Oh,
you for help.
Right, right. Yeah, totally made it to the front door. No problem at all.
What was at the front door?
A door, some stairs, and a boatload of monsters or guards. Couldn't really be sure. I was too busy not dying, sadly. I really wish I could tell you more, but again, lost as you are. But once we get some coin going, we could fund our little expedition and get the hell out of here.
Right. Need to
Where are
get
you
started.
from? Where you from, anyways? I've never seen anybody dressed like you.
Hold on. What?
It don't-
Try to
it-
pull. Try to pull up the Google Docs because I forgot.
It appears
Bro
you
for
have
gore.
broken her with question. Maybe she does not remember.
Oh, well. I guess I should start then. I'm from the Sword Coast. Heard of it?
Have I heard of it?
Have you heard of it?
You know, on Faerun.
In passing.
Oh, good. Oh, that clears that theory. I thought you were from like another world or something. Oh,
What is this Pharaoh?
I turned my head towards him. No, you're fucking with me, right? Faerun, you know, like the land of Faerun,
No.
located on. Seriously,
Yes.
heard of the jungles of Chult?
No.
Where are you from?
He puts the wine down and gestures with both arms wide to the area around him. I am from Barovia.
Ah, that's weird.
Born and raised. Never left.
And you never heard of Faerun at all?
No. So you are not the first adventurer coming through here talking of weird, strange lands that do not exist.
No. Faerun exists.
Right,
You're
sure.
fucking with me now.
I
You're
am sure
you're
this
trying
place
to.
exists. It is not just the mask messing with your head.
Are you sure you're not stinging me? Yeah.
Well, I do not have stinger, and I am not made of stinging material, so no, not stinging.
No. It's a turn of phrase. You know, like pseudo dragons when they sting you, you get all wonky and stuff. Anyway, point is, huh? We're fucking stuck here, aren't we?
Well,
No.
as far as we are aware, nobody who leaves comes back.
Well,
Pretty much, if you go out into fog, you choke on it. If you do not turn back after choking on fog, you die.
all right. I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna polish off my last cup of wine, and we should get going.
Right.
Well, it looks like your friends are waiting outside, so now that you've had your food and wine, I guess I will take you over to my place, yeah?
Sure, yeah. And as we're walking, so wait, where did you say that you were from? Didn't catch that.
The mountains.
I mean, there's
No.
lots of mountains, like the spine of the world, like
Solanios. Up in. Right next to the bridges. We have a winery up there.
sounds fancy. Maybe, if we get out of here, can you grab me a bottle? I'd like to try it.
Have you, as you mentioned the winery, Phaedra, you see Ismark's head kind of turn to you. Oh, you're a fellow enthusiast of wine. You should see the Wizards of Wine's winery near Kresk. We get all the best stuff from over there.
There's a winery here?
Yes, yes, best wine in all of Barovia comes from there. They are the Wizards of the Wines. It's a funny name, yeah?
Are they actual wizards?
With the kind of wine they make, they might as well be. That shit is
Right.
magical. But yes, once we finish up getting my sister to a safe place, we go to the winery.
She just gives him like a short nod.
He just gives you like a wide, kind of dopey grin. You're used to reading people, Phaedra. This guy's like a golden retriever.
Hmm. Does not know what's going on at
He
all.
just seems very happy to be making friends and a very gentle soul. And since we are already hitting 6:12, let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break for snacks here before we
Yeah.
continue.
Snack break.
Snack break!
Snack break.
If you don't, I'm just gonna keep going. All of us don't want that.
Please fucking don't. Anyway,
Well,
back to the session before Darian comes all over the fucking keyboard again.
Oh my god, he's coming.
He's coming.
I sound like Foghorn Leghorn when I come.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, he has been edging his wood.
He has
I
been
have been
edging his
edging
wood
my wood
this
so
whole
hard.
game.
I edge on my wood till I Darian.
I don't know if I
hate
want to
you.
be here anymore.
So I'm
We're no
standing
longer
against the
friends.
wall of the fucking tavern as you guys come out.
Yes, Ismark, Du, and Phaedra, you all exit the tavern. You see Darian propped up with a dead cat on the side.
Whoa! You want me to,
Familiar.
Oh. Do you want me to,
Should we kill that for you? It looks disgusting.
No, it's familiar.
It is familiar to you? Why are you familiar with dead
It
things?
is a like a magical familiar.
Why is your familiar dead things?
I don't know. Why is everything around here undead imbued?
Eh? It is curse put upon this land because, I don't know, someone fucked up somewhere.
Well, that is my answer to you.
Anyway, let's go down this road. Come on. We go down to my family's house now.
Fantastic.
Well,
Listen-
as we walk, I'm gonna slip the letter that has the B on it to Phaedra, and just sort of open it up to her in the back.
What does it say on it?
Specifically pointing to the part where Arena Kolanovich is a vampire and has been
bit?
bitten.
No. I'll look at it and I'll just give you a nod and I'll hand the letter back to you.
Take it back and fold it back up.
Would I know that, like, getting bit by a vampire turns you into a vampire?
I wouldn't say that Phaedra really studied that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I thought vampires would be like.
You know that it's a process, but you're not sure if
Yeah.
a bite is all that does it or if there needs to be something else that goes on.
Darian knows, right?
Does Darian know?
I would assume that Darian knows because that is literally my class.
Does your
And I
class
also
specifically
have-
state I know vampires?
Uh,
I think it's just you get advantage on intelligence checks, right?
Well, in the thing for my subclass, I specialize in hunting things like vampires and werewolves.
Mhm.
This is I'm an exterminator. But in terms of the actual features, I have a feature that at second level I'm adept at uncovering knowledge which pertains to eldritch threats or forgotten legends. I have advantage on intelligence checks related to researching creature spells and other ancient or secret lore.
You can go ahead and go give me an intelligence check at advantage to see if you can recall this information off the top of your head.
Straight up intelligence?
You can do a history check.
I would love to do a history check at advantage. That was not at advantage. It was a 19.
Alright, give me 1 second. So Darian, with a 19,
Yes.
you would know that biting doesn't necessarily equate to becoming a vampire yourself. You would know that somebody killed by the bite becomes a vampire, or a vampire spawn. So, as far as you are aware, you've not heard that she's died and been buried and brought back as a spawn, but you do know that if she is bit and that is what kills her, that will be what turns her.
But, so, even if she is bitten and then she dies later on, she will come back as a spawn.
No, it has to be slain from that specific bite.
Cool, understood. Awesome.
Yeah.
Darian just grumbles to himself in Elvish. Which is just as I think Phaedra would understand, because I don't know if the rest of you speak Elvish, but Phaedra would understand is just like grumbled, mad, just ramblings about vampires under his breath.
In also Elvish, do you know that she is one for sure?
Only one way to find out. Got to actually talk to her herself. But you can usually tell by the mouth not being, sharp or affliction to sunlight, or the eyes being unnatural. I'll see.
As you guys are walking out of the tavern and starting your way down the road, you see off to that side that same bundled up old woman pushing the handcart and knocking on various doors. Just eventually, are any of you guys watching this woman or just passing by?
Oh yeah, I watch everyone.
I'm
we pass.
watching them.
Okay. You watch this woman eventually knock on a door. The door opens and you see a gaunt-looking woman peer out. They exchange words that are too quiet for you to hear. And the woman nods and takes a few of these meat pies and pastries from this old woman. And as she goes to pull out her coin purse, the old woman shakes her head and points in the doorway. There was a moment of quiet, and you see a little bit of a look of panic on the woman's face as she seems to be trying to bargain with this lady. Going back and forth for a few minutes before eventually, the old woman reaches inside the doorway, grabs a hold, and pulls out what looks to be a small 7-year-old boy. The child is crying and sobbing and flailing frantically as she grabs him, stuffs him into a bag, straps him to the cart, and starts to walk away.
Okay, I need a
She grabs the child
She
and
puts the
child
child
in
in a
the
sack. Yep.
All right, I need a moment. And immediately Archie will like wane off in marching towards this lady.
It's not a problem, man. Just, and I'm gonna follow behind Archie.
Yeah, I'm following.
Darian has not been paying attention to just started walking as other people start walking off, and he just looks.
Darian,
around
figure
and
out
looks
what you
around.
can. I
Eh.
suppose.
But
Mark pauses. What are they doing over there? I guess
just show me your sister, and we can talk about how we're going to go. And
well, they are
Yes.
going to get lost following to my house, so let's just wait over here.
It's fine. Don't worry. They'll figure it out.
Are you sure?
I look back over at them. Does it look like they're gonna try to like fight this lady?
Does it look like you guys are going to fight this lady who is just walking off nonchalantly like
Who
she
is
didn't
walking off with a child in a sack?
Yeah, nonchalantly like she didn't just snatch up a small child.
Archie's definitely walking up, like he is about to ask many grueling questions. It, it doesn't have to turn lethal, but oh my god, that is a child. What the fuck?
I don't know that this has happened because I've been too busy thinking about vampires. So
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
just
going
see
to
them
like
marching towards an old woman looking violent.
I'm going to just like flip Ismark around so he's not looking in their direction. So that way I'm like looking over his shoulder at what's happening over there. As I just like, okay, so why don't you just give me a rundown about what we can expect and the route we're going to take first?
This is the same old woman who sold Dew the pastries earlier too, so you recognize her, but
I'm just gonna stall Ismark pretty much
Alrighty.
and ask him questions while making sure that they don't fucking die.
the rest of you, I'm assuming just with a little bit of hurry to your step, rush down the road to this old lady.
Yep.
Yep.
You see she's just pushing the cart, not seeing you guys approach, just continues pushing it. But you see like that slight pause of her hearing something and starts to push the cart a little bit faster.
Madam, I suggest you stop.
Can I cast Starry Wisp at one of her wagon wheels?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a fucking Starry Wisp.
Just so she can't like quickly push the cart away.
12. Your Starry Wisp goes and it hits the wheel and it clips it on the side, and it doesn't like completely blow it off, but it does like knock the wheel off of the cart, and she swears under her breath for a second and just whips a head around at you all. Can I help you?
Yes, you can. And Archie will unsheath his long sword and immediately get within distance and hold it up to her neck.
No, there's no need for violence.
I'm gonna try to get around to her sack. I'm gonna reach around to her sack and open up her
Whoa.
sack.
She is
Grab
pretty
an
much
old lady sack.
She is back
Grab it.
pressed up against the sack right now, like trying to keep it from you all. Now I
Madam,
assure you there's no need for violence. You strangers come in here and start beating up an old woman. How would that look to everybody else?
Madam,
Sir?
am I truly to be under the assumption that you just took a child in exchange for payment?
I took nothing. I
Really?
took standard
Is that
payment.
why the bag is grumbling behind you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I suggest you step away from the bag before it's the last mistake you ever make. I am endowed by the Knight and Kingdom of Cormyr to dispense justice when it is warranted. I suggest you do not test the metal of a kingdom.
She-
Yeah, listen, lady, he's real serious about this sort of stuff. He will kill you.
She takes a step to the side, kind of pulling away from the blade at her neck. And gestures a hand down to the bag dismissively.
Pedra?
I'm gonna open a sack.
You see the small child sitting inside, crying.
Okay. I'm gonna pick the child up from out of the sack, and then I'm gonna plop him on the floor, ground, just dust him off a little.
He sits there sniveling and wiping his eyes and wiping his nose across his raggedy sleeve. Just almost inconsolable. Just
Okay,
Madam, if I ever catch you doing something like this again, I will have your head. Or worse for you, I'll take a leg. And Archie will see this longsword. He's gonna walk back down the road to the house where this lady presumably gave her child in
took
exchange
the
for something.
child.
Yeah.
You guys
Knock on
take
the door.
take the child, and you hear the old woman grumble as she goes to fix the wheel on her cart and before continuing to walk down the road, and you Go back to the door
So-
and you knock on it.
I did. As they walk away and she's fixing her wheel, Dude's gonna stay there and he's gonna do the the Slav squat, arms on the inside of his legs and kind of like leans in. So why are you kidnapping kids, lady?
It's not kidnapping if they're given up willingly.
Right, willingly, right, yeah. So why are you taking kids, lady?
Well, they need to help out at the mill.
The mill.
I'm too old to push the millstone to grind the wheat to make the pastries. Strapping
Where's this
young
mill
lad,
at?
he can do a lot of work.
Yeah, I guess it can, right? Where's this mill at?
Now go down the road and you'll find it.
Down the road, right. Which direction is she pointing?
She just points in a random direction down the road.
Doesn't seem like she's fucking lying to me about the direction.
It seems like she's irritated and might not be lying, but it's hard to tell. You can roll an insight check if you'd like.
I would like to. Yeah, 18.
18. Oh god, Foundry, please no. Not now.
Hooray! We love Foundry.
My Foundry is lagging something terrible right now.
Someone's
No way.
DDoSing Foundry because they're mad they kept getting ones.
They are. Let me just get some physical dice while this it does its problem thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like she's lying.
Listen, just tell me where it is.
Well, I don't quite have a map to show you now, do I? It's down the road from here. Whether you
Down
find
the
it's
road.
up to you.
There's a road over there. There's a road over there.
There's only one road out of the city that leads anywhere that's important. And she points down the road that you know leads towards the castle.
All right. So I ain't gonna hurt you. I'll be honest, right? Not really my thing. But that big red guy over there,
Hmm?
yeah. If he knows that you're enslaving kids and stuff, he'll probably kill you. So maybe don't go to the mill today.
It's not slavery. They're paid and they come over and they help.
Yeah, that's what they told me as well when they put me to work. Don't go to the mill today.
Well, maybe you are a bad boy. She hooks up her cart and starts to wander away.
Literally clenching his fist as she says that, and he drops his head into his hand, taps his helmet a couple of times with the back with his knuckles, and then catches up with the party. So funny thing, Archie. I don't want you running off and being the hero or anything, but it looks like there's a whole mill full of kids she's putting to work.
Just give me a moment. I'm gonna figure this out. And he will walk up and on the door of the lady that handed her kid off.
You knock and it's quiet for a while. And eventually the door creaks open and you see the red-rimmed eyes of a woman staring out who seems to also have been crying.
Ma'am,
Yes?
this one yours? And he'll gesture back to Phaedra holding the kid, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lucian! And she runs out and throws her arms around him and picks him up. The kid seems to calm a little bit as the mother hugs him tightly and just kind of smooths out his messy hair. She looks around, seemingly whipping her head about looking for this old woman.
Is it normal for you to give up your kids to random old women?
The woman looks deeply ashamed and just kind of hangs her head. It's not like he's got it much better off over here. thank you all.
Where does she take them?
To the old bone grinder mill.
Bone
Mhm.
grinding.
Well,
That's
that's the name
is
of the
that a-
mill. It's, just the old. It was called the bone grinder, but that was it.
is that a metaphor or?
I'm not sure what you mean.
1 second. He's gonna go around the corner and vomit a little bit, dripping out of his mask, and then immediately grab that sack of croissants and cast Purify Food. Drink
Yeah,
on it.
holy shit.
You cast purify food and drink. I mean, there was no poison or rot on it.
At least
And
you
I'm-
didn't get the
I'm-
meat pies.
Yeah, I'm throwing that shit away. I'm just like, after I cast that shit, you just hear me cursing in random, in a language you don't, and you know what? Yeah, if anybody understands Dwarvish, you hear a bunch of Dwarvish cursing as he's just grumbling and yelling and spitting and throwing the food in the distance, pissed off.
I'm a knight of Cormyrian make. It is my duty to seize things like this happening in communities and do something about it. If there's any information you wish to divulge about anything of that, anything of the region, anything at all, now would be the time.
She looks down and looks around. Just the old woman, just take it easy on her. I know she seems terrible, but the food she brings is of great comfort to everybody in the village.
Right. Archibald will reach down to his side, and he will specifically ball it up in his fist so that she can't see it. Like, hold out your hand, please, ma'am.
She very cautiously holds out a hand. You could see that there's a little bit of fear in her eyes.
Reaches down into her palm and specifically closes around, like opens his fist and closes hers as quick as he can. He's going to give her 10 gold pieces, and very much is going to hold up his other hand in like a shh moment, like a motion over his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Use it for your community when you will need it in the times to come. Do what you can, make it last.
She very cautiously opens her palm, and you see her eyes go wide as she pretty much like stuffs it in her shirt as fast as she can. And holding her boy tightly, she just nods. Thank you.
Good day, ma'am. Oh, wait. Archie will turn around and just give a nod to Phaedra.
As you leave, she calls out, be wary of the woods. There's a lot of wolves and werewolves in there.
Thank you, ma'am.
She nods and takes her son inside and quickly closes the door.
Well, that sorts that. It's on the road on the way, probably, so we can definitely stop by this bone mill and figure out what's going on there.
Deer comes back. Did I eat people?
Did you eat any of the croissants or the meat pies?
Croissants.
I don't think you could make croissants out of people.
Bones. Bones are still people. Ugh.
Bone dough? That... No, you'd know what that would taste like.
Ugh.
Either way, we'll figure out on the way if we can mind the time. Things are really bad. Nothing against our benefactor, but it seems wealth is not exactly evenly distributed or given back to the community in such a place. Times are desperate if the rich are fleeing.
Darian, you've been watching this all go down. You watch Doe go around the corner and just fucking vomit violently. Ismark goes to turn around. So are your friends coming, or are they like? Are we going? Like, what is?
They're coming, they're coming eventually. And I'm gonna sort of like wave them back over.
Archie will give a wave back. Shall we continue?
Yes, I think so. Where is Doughboy?
He's just in the back. You can see that he's just like staring off into the sky right now, racked with thoughts of eating people.
Right. Your house, please.
Yes, let's go to my
Apologies
house.
for the delay. Yes, apologies for the delay.
Right, this way to my house. As he starts to lead you all down the road. After you get to that four-way intersection, you do see another establishment that is roughly 70 by 40 feet. Sparse light from the building spilling out from behind very heavy drawn curtains, and you see a sign over the door with the hinges that creak, and it reads Bildrath's Mercantile. Seems to be some sort of shop. As you continue down the road a little bit further, you pass by this building over here. And all you hear coming from it is just this wailing, moaning sob that is ceaseless. And it fills your minds with dull gray and sadness. Do you guys stop at either of these locations?
Last time we went to a house, things happened to us.
Nope.
I don't particularly care.
You guys continue on, eventually making your way all the way down to the end of the road. You see a weary-looking mansion squatting behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gate's all twisted and torn, with the right gate lighting on the floor, cast aside, it seems like, while the left swings lazily in the winds. And this stuttering, squealing, and clanging of the gate kind of repeats as it moves back and forth. Weeds choke out the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. You see, oddly enough, the growth of the plants against the walls has been tramped down to create a path all about the area, with very heavy claw markings stripping the finish off the walls. Giant black marks across it seem to be some kind of burn marks, fires. There's not a single pane or a shard of glass that stands in any of the windows. All of the windows themselves are barred with planks, each one marked with stains and evil-looking magic.
Kind of ominous.
It is ominous, but it is home. Unfortunately, it has been assailed as of late. It usually looks much better, I promise you.
Assailed?
Well, yes, we have been having issues with, he points out around some of the trampled weeds. And you guys see, wolf paw prints and human footprints. We have been having visitors show up at nighttime. This is probably, you know, the lady, sending friends to come visit on nights that she cannot. And this is partially why I would like to get my sister out of here as fast as possible.
Hmm.
But come, follow me, we go inside now. It is starting to get dark anyway, and you do not want to be outside after dark. This is... well, we'll have... And he looks up and around. About 2-3 hours of sunlight left. But come on. And he walks up to the door and produces a ring of keys from his pocket, and he goes to unlock the front. My sister is a little bit jumpy, so She might be a little bit rude, a little bit angry, a little bit throwing pots at your head if she does not know you. She does not mean it, she's just very scared.
Hmm.
It has been a rough few days. He
Tell me
unlocks
about
the
it.
door and he opens it and he walks inside.
Gonna lean in the door and look around a little bit. Ooh.
You see the interior of the mansion is very well furnished. The fixtures do show some signs of wear and age. You notice the boarded up windows and the presence of various different holy symbols just everywhere.
A little bit. He lets out a little bit of a whistle and goes, "Well, like a dragon's scales. I've never been in a place so beautiful, huh?"
Thank you. It is home. It is the most beautiful place in the village. I can tell you that.
Well, who'd your father have to fuck to get this set up? Sorry.
You see, he makes a bit of a face. Please do not speak ill of mother and father, especially in times as these. And he looks off to the side, and you see in the side drawing room the door is open, and on the floor, lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and the faint odor of decay, is an older man who looks a
Oh,
little bit like Ismark.
right. Sorry about that.
Yes, it is also why I think it is best we leave the village. But come, let us go speak to my sister, yes?
Yeah.
And he leads you into a different side room and knocks on the door. Irina, I have brought some friends. They're going to come help you. All right, we're going to fix these things. Yes. He pauses for a little bit and he opens the door and peers his head through and pulls it back as you hear the shattering of a vase against the wall. As I said, she's a little bit jumpy.
Charming.
Well, you know, you get visited by a vampire over a couple nights and have your father die and the wolves try to tear down the walls. It makes you a little bit, well, upset with everything that moves, yes?
Fair point.
Give me just a few minutes to get her calmed down and then we will talk, yes?
Go ahead.
And he opens the door quickly and slinks inside, and you can hear muffled conversation on the other side of the door.
Okay, so absolutely, if things go south, we need to try and get at least one of them to the next village over. This place is not safe for them.
Yeah. So there's like this little bit of a favor that the Helm guy does for me every once in a while. I'm gonna pass his blessings on to all of you. Gather close. Helm, protect us and make sure we're safe. As he grabs the silver amulet around his neck, and I'm going to cast Aid on you three. Your max HP goes up by 5, and you gain 5 hit points.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
As you all glow ever so lightly. Helm's gaze embrace you, or something.
How
You hear him mutter.
have you been a priest?
Well, you see, Helm's really not that picky about it. It's like, really, it's like whoever will do the job. You know what I mean? Things have been getting real bad lately, you know, with like necromancers and liches from Thay and all that trying to cause problems. You know.
Right. Darian just walks off and starts looking around the house.
Well, you're welcome. Shit.
Looking for anything in particular?
Anything that would lead to a sign of her being not a human anymore, and/or anything that is overtly unnatural or I would say eldritch, but by eldritch I mean monstrous in nature.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
And since it is technically something that I'm looking for things relating to creatures, spells, or other ancient lore, would that be an advantage?
Sure, go ahead. Little fucking gremlin.
21.
21.
21.
You look around and the only signs of monsters you see around this house are the markings outside of, claw marks and the shuffling feet that you can clearly tell come from undead. Um,
Hmm.
Inside the house, though, it just seems like this has been a house under siege. Like I said, there's broken windows that are boarded up. There's burn marks on the outside, but nothing on the inside would denote that she is a vampire in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Just sort of be wandering around for a little bit, just checking out the house, and also kind of by proxy checking out the defenses.
What are the rest of you doing? Well, he's checking out the house, and Ismark is speaking with his sister.
Shoulda eavesdrop.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yeah. Perception.
19. As you sit there with one of your larger ears pressed up against the door, listening in, you hear the hushed voices of Ismark and what you assume to be Irina from the softer feminine voice coming through. And from the conversation you listen into, you just get the sense that he's trying to calm her down. Just, look, it's going to work. I found some people down at the tavern. They are going to help us. They are going to get you somewhere safe where this woman cannot take you anymore. She cannot touch you. We are going to help you. And she just mutters very quietly. It's so hard for you to make out. And, I just want to... We cannot leave without burying father. I cannot go without him being taken care of. I cannot... And you hear Ismark shushing her and just seemingly trying to get her okay to come out and talk to you all. Archie
we're
and
waiting,
who?
there's going to be... He's just gonna be wandering around. Nonchalantly walks away from the group, starts wandering around the manor, and I'm looking for anything small and expensive looking.
Give me an investigation check.
15.
15. You see a couple really nice looking, albeit a little bit tarnished, silver candlestick holders that might fetch you about 50 gold apiece.
Yes, ma'am. He said, and he's gonna be whispering to himself. He said everything they got, and he's gonna just slip those candle holders into his backpack.
Terrible
Alrighty.
person.
You can put 2 candlestick holders worth 50 gold into your bag.
Nice.
As you do this, you get the sense that you're being watched.
I'm gonna lean back. Hello?
As you say hello, you hear a small squeak as a rat jumps out from underneath your feet and runs through the house.
Oh, piss! I'm gonna like wiggle my finger at the rat like it did something wrong, not me.
Archie, what are you up to?
Just trying to keep a general lookout, peering out the windows every now and again, making sure nobody wanders off too far.
Perception check as you look out the windows. 18. You're just hanging out there for a little bit. You're kind of peering through the little slats in between since, all the windows are boarded up. There are a few loose bits here and there that give you enough visual. You see occasionally down the road a few people here and there milling about. They seem to be looking towards the Burgomaster's mansion to where you all are before they wander off again.
Bothersome, but I'll let everyone know when we're back together.
Eventually you all come back together as the door opens and Ismark looks at all of you. Alright, she is willing to speak to you all now. I apologize for earlier. She's just, as I said, jumpy. And he gestures
Just-
for you all to walk into the side room.
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Walking behind Phaedra.
Walking behind Darian.
Alrighty. As you walk in, you see seated on one of the long couches in the room a striking young woman with auburn hair and deep tan skin, wearing very beautiful looking plate mail armor with a red sash tied around the neck. Very nice, expensive looking short sword at her side. As she looks up at you all. So my brother tells me you all are here to help.
Yeah, totally.
Well, don't all speak up at once. That is one yes. What about the others?
Yes, as much as we can.
She looks to the other two.
By knightly honor or otherwise, you shall arrive at your destination.
And there's also a better art for her in the NPCs tab.
Oh.
Oh.
Fucking Rachel, I know what that all means.
Darian's just gonna be sort of staring her in the eyes. He pretty much just like giving her a once over to see if she looks like she has been bitten and or turned, and or anything out of place or unordinary.
Perception check.
Okay. Woo! 18.
18. She doesn't look vampiric in any way, considering you've hunted vampire spawn before and have dealt with a few of them. She doesn't have that telltale craze in her eyes. She doesn't seem erratic in her movements. You do notice, though, bruising and old coming up from the side of her neck. It is hard to see because of all the cloth and everything covering it, but you do see a little bit there. It is good that we have finally found some people who are brave enough to help. No one in the village will help Ismark.
Oh, well, we're not from the village.
Well, I gather that is... None of you all look human, and I don't mean that in any disrespect, but one of you is red. One of you has a bucket for a head, and two of you have very
Boy.
long ears. Most weird. Again, not meant to be disrespectful or rude in any way, just... We don't see people like you around here.
Dude kind of does like the back and forth head tilt, like, okay, fair.
Don't see elves around here?
Is that what you are called? No, we do not see elves around here. Like, there are the occasional traveler that comes through that Ismark tells me looks weird or so, but... no, I have not seen an elf before. That is not to say you're not... You're very pretty, but... I just... The ears are throwing me off a little bit, I apologize.
I guess this town is a lot isolated than I thought.
Isolated is an understatement. Well, the whole valley is isolated.
So,
Right.
where are we taking you? You said the next town over?
Ismark believes that, Balaki, or even as far as Kresk, one of them would be safer than here. I'm sure you've seen walking through the village that there's not a whole lot left of everything here.
Right, that's putting it there lightly. Miss.
Irina, yes?
Yeah, Irina. You're good going with us?
Well, why wouldn't I be? If you are strong and capable, as my brother believes you to be, he's a very good judge of character. If he thinks you all can help, I would very much appreciate it, though. I cannot leave until my father is buried.
I
He deserves that
understand.
much, at least. Would you help us take his body to the cemetery? There, Father Donovich, he can help. He can bury my father and give him his proper rights.
Visual nod.
Thank you. You all look like you have been through a ringer.
Yes.
Well, no, we don't have much, but take comfort here while you can. I do greatly appreciate your help.
No worries, no worries. As long as we're compensated at the end of all this. Yeah?
Of course, we'll compensate you with whatever we can give you.
Good.
There is no good deeds are done unpaid. Yes.
Always.
Why did it take for me to be trapped in a cursed land to actually hear that and actually believe it for once? Huh, I might just stay here.
Do not stay here.
You would be the
Bad
first
idea.
person to say they wish to stay here.
It's a joke.
Oh, you are very funny, man.
I know.
You seem to be doing a lot of staring, blonde one. Is there something I can help you with?
Why is she so interested in you?
You see, she kind of freezes and flinches a little bit. I wish I could tell you. Unfortunately, all I can remember when she comes is that hunger in her eyes. Everything is fuzzy, and I just feel ill and exhausted and violated.
Mhm.
2 nights she has come, and 2 nights I cannot remember. And since then, these creatures have been attacking our house for weeks. My poor father, his heart could not take it, and he passed about 3 days ago. It has been quiet since, but I fear to leave the house to take him to the cemetery. So it is greatly appreciated that you all would help me bring him there.
I see.
You see, as she speaks, her bottom lip quivers a little bit, and her eyes look somber. She reaches up and, with a hand that is gauntlet and glove, just kind of wipes her eye a little bit. Well, shall we go now then and take my father to the church?
Probably the blessed course of action.
There is still sunlight for the day, yes? Best to do it while the sun is out. We do not want to be out in the darkness. The darkness is where the monsters move.
Darren sort of nods and just starts walking out towards the front of the house and just waits for them to just grab the body and head out as he just sort of goes outside and just checks to see what's around us right now as we're about to head out.
As Darian leaves, Irina and Ismark look to the remaining three as Irina pipes up again. Would you all mind helping to carry the coffin? It is a bit heavy for just two.
Sure, sure.
Nods. As we're like walking out, can I? Because we didn't take a long rest yet, right?
No, you guys have not long rested or really
Yeah.
anything since this morning.
Okay. So I still have the bird.
Mhm.
Since it's starting to get dark, I want to send my little owl out to basically scout the area, see if there's any
You send-
lingering around that could.
Go ahead
be
and give me
dangerous.
a perception check with your owl.
Yeah.
Darian as well, give me a perception check.
I think an owl has advantage.
I believe so. I am clicking on the wrong screen to get information.
Like Darren, just with the three, is just he
Ooh,
sees. Oh shit, nice.
Yeah, oh shit.
Just sees the other people sort of walking around in this town now, and he just doesn't like the vibe of it as he just stares at them, not really paying too much attention to everyone else.
Phaedra, with your natural 20 with your fucking owl, Jesus Christ. You don't see any issues or monsters or anything on your road ahead. You do see the occasional villager or two wandering about. It seems like it's mainly just people who've come to get a look at the newcomers and then go back to their houses.
Okay.
Off in the distance down the road, you do see that old woman continuing to push her cart. Seems she's heading off, in the one road out of town.
Oh, she's going out of town.
Yeah, because there was the road you guys came in on, and she's going on the only other road out of town.
Okay.
And then off in the distance towards the northern side, you see the church. You all load up this coffin onto your shoulders or arms, or however you wish to carry it out, and make your slow process all the way over to the church. You walk atop a slight incline up to a little bit of a rise against the... Let's see. There we go. Where's this thing over here? So you see a bit of a pillar of stone, standing a gray, sagging edifice of wood and stone, an older building. This church has obviously weathered assaults of evil for centuries, as there are scorch marks, there's claw marks. It is rough and worn and weary. An old bell tower rising up in the back, and a small flickering light shining through the holes of its shingled roof. You hear the dull groan of the building straining against the load of the roof and everything. You see heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. And noticeably, nobody seems to be up here or has moved up in this area. Everyone that you have seen has stayed towards the southern side.
Huh.
But do you all enter the church?
As we're approaching the outside of the church, is there any religious symbology that might see who this church is dedicated to, if it is?
No. Which is odd,
Huh.
but given with all the assaults that you can tell this place is weathered, it might have just been defaced to a point where you can no longer tell who this church is dedicated to.
Damn.
Yeah. I'll to the
You
Darren takes a
guys-
beat, but reluctantly enters.
You guys push open these doors, and the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall itself is unlit and reeks of mildew, with 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, leading to adjacent chambers. You can see the chapel itself is strewn with debris, and you see a man at the end, knelt before the altar, in a soft voice muttering a prayer. What do y'all do?
Just wait for him to finish his prayer.
Are you all are stepping inside the hallway though, correct?
Yeah.
As you all step inside the hallway, hearing the footsteps behind him, his prayer stopped for a second as he turns his head around and he looks back down and goes to praying. And after a few minutes, he finishes and stands and looks to you all and seems to give you a little bit of a wave. Welcome. It's good to... And as he goes to speak, you hear an inhuman scream rising up from beneath the wooden floor. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
What? Okay. Okay.
I love churches.
This is why we buried my brother on a hill.
Yeah.
Vicious ass church.
We got to the church, yay!
That was super fun.
Yeah! Super glad we got to get both Du and Archie, integrated into the group today and get y'all working together and doing all your fun things. You got to meet Ismark and Irina.
Yeah.
Good session. Good for setup. But thank
Good
you everybody
shit.
for playing. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you guys next time.